Hey, I am live. I'm hanging out here in the Oval Office. I decided to throw my hat in the ring and broke in. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I'm just kidding. Jeez, in case don't need Secret Service showing up at my door. So I'm here with Bob Donnell. Bob, how in the world are you today,
Hey, brother, doing well, man. Looking forward to coming to Columbus, Ohio for the first time.
dude? I can't believe you've never been to Columbus.
I know. I've never been to anywhere in Ohio.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's the Buckeye State. You know what a Buckeye is, right?
I don't know what a Buckeye is.
It's a worthless nut. In fact, it's a poisonous
it's a
nut.
nut. That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
it's a nut off of a tree. Yeah.
How funny. How
Yeah.
funny.
So I've you and I've gotten to know each other over the last month, probably, pretty well. And dude, like, first I want to say thank you publicly. Like, you have connected me with some absolutely amazing people, like amazing people. Like,
good.
It's incredible. So thank you. And
Absolutely.
Glow Favreau is on here. Did I say your name right? Do you know Glow?
I don't.
So Glow is she's a coach. She's amazing. She's I think in New York. But you and I decided, well, I threw it out there. I said, dude, let's do a Next Level by Association pop-up dinner here in Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah.
And you said, let's do it. So we've now put it together.
The 27th.
The 27th of this month. Weldon Whitehurst is on YouTube watching us.
Oh, there we go.
And Weldon is coming to the dinner, him and his wife.
Yeah.
Right.
He's already got his tickets. Yeah.
So for anybody not watching, real quick, I want to tell you that Bob is okay. So I don't know how else to say it. I'm just going to say it. Like, Bob is more connected to more celebrities and like big name people than anybody I've ever known in my life. Like, you literally are, dude. And it blows my mind. Like you'll be like, hey, do you know Elvis Presley's brother? I'm like, yeah, dude, we hang out and sing Jailhouse Rock together. Like, no, I don't know him. And so you send a message with me and him in a group message, and I'm like, unbelievable, like unbelievable. Did I tell you that my parents almost named me or my brother Elvis?
Yeah, that was great. That was great.
So I would like for you to kind of explain to people what Next Level by Association is and what it's about. And by the way, to be at this private dinner for 20 people, there's only going to be 20 people at this dinner. It's $100.
Yeah.
And you're getting so rich off of that. It's horrible. So it's $100 to be at this dinner. And so tell everybody what Next Level by Association is and what they can expect and all. Where did it originate? How did it happen?
Well, our mutual friend, Dr. Bill Janishak, for probably 6 months, every month or two, I would hold an event at his office. He's a chiropractor. And I would invite people to come in, and then I would, give a speech. Like I gave a talk called Mastering Your Inner Game, which is a book I wrote and some programs that I do. And so I did this Mastering Your Inner Game one day. I think I called it Game On that day. And so we had all these people in there. We had about 50 people in there. And throughout the day, I was mentioning, some of the people that I interact with, some of the people that have mentored me, some of the people that have made introductions for me, and things I've learned from these different people. And at lunchtime, one of my coaches, one of my good friends and coaches who coaches me, says, we mutually coach each other. He says, "So Bob, what's your offer at the end of the day?" And I went, as much as I know I'm supposed to have one, I did not create one for this particular event. And he goes, "Dude, you don't have an offer?" You're going to spend an entire day with everyone. And I go, no, I'll come up with one. I just don't have one right now. He goes, by lunch, you should have already had one. So
Wow.
we're laughing. And so I go back, and throughout the day, we do some breakthrough work with some people. I have some great stuff happening. And the room was great. And all of a sudden, somebody says, man, Bob, I would just love to be a fly on the wall with some of those people you've mentioned. I think I'd mentioned Keith Ferrazzi, who wrote Never Eat Alone, Who's Got Your Back, New York Times bestseller.
Yeah.
I think I'd mentioned Mark Victor Hansen. I think I'd mentioned, so just some people that have influenced me over the course of my life.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I get that a lot. People say, I want to be a fly on the wall when you're having these dinners. Well, I can't invite somebody to come to a lunch without the person knowing. So I'm like, that doesn't work. But I'm sitting there, and towards the end of the day, I go, how many of you guys, if I held a private dinner and I invited one of these people that have influenced my life? I mean, sometimes you're never even going to know who they are, but you're gonna realize the impact that they have.
Yeah.
Or they're going to be, a great overcomer. You may never even recognize the person, but they're going to change your life by their story. How many of you guys would be like willing to commit to coming to that? And everyone's raised their hand. And I said, okay, so how many would be willing to come to it and make sure that they realize it's not a networking event, that this is really about building relationship and community? So you have to commit to a year, minimum of a year.
Yeah.
And still people said, yeah. And I said, okay. And then, it's going to be, we got to throw a number out there. It's not a networking event. It's not $25 lunch. It's going to be a couple of $100.
Yeah.
So how many are, and still had people saying, yeah. So I said, okay, we'll start it. So that was 2010.
Wow.
And so 10 years going. And that's how it really started. And our first guest of honor was Greg Reed. So Greg Reed was our very first guest of honor. Yeah.
Are you serious?
And he's going to be on your show on Monday. So that's going to be really cool.
Dude,
and then, isn't that great? And then the second guest of honor was Gary Goldstein, who was producer of Pretty Woman. Dear friend, great guy. So he was the second. And then a guy named Woody Woodward, who really creates a lot of intellectual property, was our guest of honor for the third. So for 12 months, every month. So we've had over 100 guest of honors over the last 10 years. And it's been really cool. So again, like I said, people want to believe, people come for the celebrity. Well, 95% of the time, I don't even announce who the guest is.
Right.
We just don't tell them. And they still show up. So because people will ask, Bob, why don't you tell us who it is? And I say, because it's not about them. I know the celebrity wants to make it about them, or the guest of honor, even if they're not a celebrity, they still want to make, but it's not. It's about the community that we're building, and it's about the other people sitting at that table. Because here's what I tell them. At the end of the night, whoever is the guest of honor is going back to their life.
Yeah.
And you probably won't see them a lot. But the other people at this table are going to be there. And you're going to spend time with them. You're going to break bread with them. You're going to get to know them, build relationship currency with them for at least a minimum of a year. We have people in 10 years. We have people like Joe. We have people like Bill Janishak. We have multiple people that are members still, that were members the first year and are still members 10 years later.
Dude, that's crazy, man. I mean, you've had Les Brown. Who are some of the bigger names? I know that you don't like say because it's not always going to be a big celebrity. I get that.
It's not. We've had Keith Ferrazzi, Les Brown, Tommy Baylor. I'll introduce you to Tommy. Tommy's such a good guy. Tommy Baylor he wrote She's Out of My Life for Michael Jackson.
Oh, wow.
And co-produced We Are the World with Ken Cragen and Quincy Jones. Yeah. Super cool guy. He's been to Next Level by Association. He comes when he's in town, even if he's not the guest of honor. He'll just show up and hang out and have dinner.
Oh, my gosh.
Super cool guy. So I'll make that introduction for sure. Tommy Baylor. We've had Jarek Robbins. We've had Gary Goldstein, producer of Pretty Woman. I mean, we've just had so many different people over the course of 10 years. And Bobby Gritch, Kasim Osgood from the the San Diego Chargers 3-time Pro Bowl player, Bobby Grich, the great baseball player for the Angels.
The the guy you just introduced me to.
Nick Lowry.
Yeah, Nick Lowry. Like that.
Nick has been on our virtual, because we have a virtual model.
Okay.
Where I can bring people on like this.
Yeah.
And then we have another level. Or we have the live.
Wow.
Nick has been on the virtual because it's never worked that he's been in town on the third Thursday.
Oh.
But now that I'm doing Scottsdale, we're going to do him there. And then he's also coming over to California. To do
so that and I guess maybe we should talk about that, because you've only done these in Orange County for the most part until recently, right? You said, hey, too many people are I asked, like, dude, how do we do one here, right?
Yeah, from the first year, we've had probably 22 different people from different cities say, could we do one here? And I've said, yeah, but let's think about it strategically. I don't want to just do it and then not be able to, continue.
Right.
But recently I said, if we do pop-ups and just call them a pop-up, we can then make a decision. Do we want to continue, or do we just want to make that a one and done?
Yeah. Right.
And because I have the virtual now, people can go to a pop-up and go, I want to plug into this. How do I stay? And then we can say, we have a virtual that you can be on every week. I'm going to have a different guest of honor. And then you're also going to have the archives of all the live ones we've done.
I got to tell you, man, you sent me a link to, I think it's a private channel with all the videos and stuff of almost, if not all the speakers, it's most of the speakers that have been at these events. And I watched David Stanley. Am I allowed to talk about this?
Sure.
So we have do you know David Newman, by the way?
I don't, but I've seen him on your show.
David he's an NSA member. He has, he's written Do It Marketing, which is an unbelievable book. It's actually in the top. It's in the top. It's ranked number 33 in the top. Well, there goes my camera acting wild. Hold on. There. It's the red shirt. And so it's ranked number 33 in the top 50 all-time best-selling sales books.
Wow. That's awesome. Congratulations, David.
He's a great guy. You guys need to know each other. But anyway, so and I can't convince him to get on a plane and fly over here from Philadelphia for our dinner. He said that's a long trip for a dinner. But I mean, here, so you gave me access to all of those videos, and I watched David Stanley, and David Stanley is Elvis Presley's stepbrother, and literally was raised by Elvis, like for the most part, and
like when he was 4 or 5,
David said, "Oh, come on now, man." David's awesome, man, for real. I love him, dude. So, he said Bob loves Philly. Have you been to Philly?
I have driven through Philly one time. I need to go back. I would love to go back there. So, yeah, let's do a pop-up.
There you go. And David knows a lot of people. Jason Alt shared this out. Jason Alt needs to be at this dinner. He's a buddy of mine. Him and his dad own a company here in Columbus. They need to be at this dinner and meet you, Bob.
Wow. Cool. I love it.
Incredible.
How do I share it out?
You would have to go to Facebook. You can just close this for a minute and go to Facebook. We know you're still there. So and I'll just keep talking. I like to talk. So,
it's a good thing if you're a host.
Yeah, right. Now everybody wants you to come and do a pop-up. Mike Phillips says, hey, Colorado Springs is beautiful most every time of the year.
I love Colorado Springs. I had a business there for about 5 years, lived there. It was awesome. Love Colorado Springs. I am willing to do a pop-up any place that people can guarantee that there's going to be a minimum of 20 people sitting at the dinner,
Right.
and that are willing to pay for the dinner. So it's $100
$100
a person that they have to be there. I don't even see it. Why can't I find it?
Just search my name and go
Yeah,
to
I have to go there.
So, yeah, I mean, again, and I want to talk about you, because you said to me, this is the way that it works. Jason, the dinner in Columbus is it's this month, man. It's the last Friday of the month, the 27th. Bob is going to fly in. I just posted the link in comments on my personal page. I'll post it here for the other pages as well. But it's
Got it.
You go there and that's where you register. It's $100.
Yep.
And it's only 20 people. And here's the other thing. It's not a pitch fest.
Right.
Like I told somebody, I'm making up rules as we go along. I don't even know. I'm like, if you come there and start pitching your stuff, Bob will throw you out. I'm kidding, but like, it's not a pitch fest. It's a place. I can't put it the way you put it. Say it again. What is
it? It's a place where you can get together with people who truly want to be better and want to help others be better as well.
Yeah.
And that they are going to be non-selfish with their resources. They're going to tell you, how they got to where they're at, where they're going next. And you're going to be surrounded by those kind of people, because the people that are members are the ones that do the inviting.
Yeah.
So I always tell them, don't invite somebody you don't want to spend a lot of time with.
Right.
And that qualifies some of them. Right. But I think, the biggest thing is, man, when do you get an opportunity to sit down, break bread with people who are really committed to growing their lives and then thereby growing their businesses, versus the opposite way around? Most people are committed to growing their businesses and then hopefully their lives catch up someday. Not the best way, in my opinion. So, we talk about why people don't take advantage of opportunities like this. I mean, how many times, Ken, I know me, how many times have I had an opportunity and did not seize the opportunity, and then later look back and go, crap, what did I miss?
Yeah.
And, I think, when we look at LODI, law of diminishing intent, LODI, law of diminishing intent, it says the distance between the time of decision and time of action will determine the likelihood it'll ever occur. You get out of high school and say, I'm going to go to college in 5 years. You're not going to college, probably. I'm going to go to the gym starting next month. Probably not going to start going to the gym. But if we shorten that gap in between time of decision, time of action, it happens. But here's what people do on this. And we were talking about this before we went live. People will get on and they'll be, I want to go. And they click interested, or they click going on Facebook event. That doesn't mean jack, because one, you have not made an investment yet.
Nope.
And there is not a seat at the table saved for you. Just by clicking interested or going on the Facebook Live or the Facebook event does not reserve your seat. You will have to make the payment, cover the cost of the link, click the link, and you will go and you'll pay your $100. That's the only way you're going to have a seat at the table.
And it includes dinner.
It includes dinner. I mean, gosh, guys, just think about it. What's dinner cost you at a decent restaurant? And again, you got to remember, we're not doing it in the middle of the restaurant.
Right.
These are all private rooms. They have to be in a private room. I can tell you this. There are 90% of the restaurants that we get referred to that don't qualify for the logistics that we need. We need certain things done a certain way. I'll give you a perfect example. One of the things we do for our guest of honors, there is no service. Once the guest of honor comes up to present and to share, there is no service. The members, everyone in the room is told, coffee, service, food, everything is done. The tables are cleared. It's done, because the guest of honor, we want everything attention, all attention on them. Wow. And so we do things specifically. And so a lot of restaurants just go, well, we can't do that. And we go, thank you for playing.
And I said to Joe and I talked on the phone yesterday, Joe Ingram, or maybe it was during the live.
It was live. I saw
When
a
I
ton
asked
of
him
it.
how long he's been,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, 10 years he's been a member, him and Bill both.
yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
And Joe is, I'm sure it has everything in the world to do with this group, but he is unbelievably connected as well.
He is, yeah. And Sean Sorensen, Sean Sorensen is a real estate broker, owns a really successful office down in Temecula. She's been there since day one. She's been there every month for 10 years. And, I would love to say it's because of me. I truly believe it's because of the other people sitting at the table.
That's
And
awesome.
I think I'm a catalyst for that simply that.
Hey, do you know this girl, Pam Aubrey?
I love Pam Aubrey.
Is she amazing or what?
She is amazing. And you made that introduction through Sherry.
Yeah.
And this is the coolest thing is, when I go on a Facebook Live or you go on a Facebook Live and we meet these people, all of a sudden we start mentioning names, and then all of a sudden, boom, I'm doing an event, a pop-up in Scottsdale. Sherry's coming. Sherry and I had met 8 years ago or something. We hadn't talked since then. And then all of a sudden, Pam shows up as Sherry's guest, and Pam joins and becomes part of Next Level by Association. And, so I mean, again, that's the way it works.
Yeah.
And the thing is when you surround yourself with good people, they tend to know a lot of other good people.
Right.
But when you surround yourself with idiots, you get a lot of idiots.
Right. Oh, that's awesome. Carlos.
So Jim Rohn said you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most amount of your time with, right?
Yeah.
So 10 years ago, all we did was we said, how do we create an intentional peer group? Rather than the 5 that we spend the most amount of our time with because of logistics or whatever else, how about if we create a group? And so that's how Next Level by Association group created.
And it's only 20 people.
Only 20 people at the pop-ups, yeah. Yeah, we have about 30 to 35 every given month at Orange County.
Orange County, yeah.
Yeah, because we've got a nucleus there. So those people are, if we limited it to 20, we would never have another guest.
Right.
Our members would already occupy the space.
David Newman. Look, David Newman says nobody notices this, but I mean, how could you miss that I'm sitting in the Oval Office? It's right there behind
I tell
me.
you. It's right there.
I can't believe they let me in here, dude. So I mean, this is a no-brainer. I honestly, I think for me, I'm excited, and I don't care. I know you probably do, but I mean, if it's 15 people that show up, I mean, I'm excited to meet you face to face. B, I'm excited to have a group of strong people like that around that I can be associated with,
Yeah.
Because you can go to these.
With you. I don't care if there's 20 people. What I care about, the right people are there.
That's right.
That's it.
Yeah.
The right people is all I care about.
Right.
And and what's really cool is when you do something like this and you have people like yourself involved, the right people show up.
They do. Yeah.
Yeah.
They do. So, hey, real quick, I would love for you to tell the story of the skydiving story. Can you tell it?
Yeah. I'll tell the quick version. A very good friend of mine, her name is Cindy Vaughn, a member of Next Level by Association since month 11, I think. She was so anti-skydiving, never going to go skydiving. Well, I had an Inner Circle client of mine. In an Inner Circle client, they pay $5,000. We spend an entire day together, and we go through a bunch of stuff with them. And so this person is like, at the end of the day, she's like empowered, ready to go. I said, so what do you want to do next? She goes, my next level is jumping out of an airplane. I go, wow, okay, cool. Now, this is not Cindy. This is an Inner Circle member. So I'm like, okay, cool. So let's set it up. So we set it up. She goes, I'm there. She jumps out of the airplane. I'm at the bottom when she lands. She goes, oh my gosh. She's crying. I said, what was the best part about that? She goes, the best part was this time the parachute worked. She goes, the last, I'm like, whoa. I thought this was the first time. She goes, no, the last time the parachute had a problem. I'm like, oh my gosh. And you're willing to do it. So she says, why don't you come and jump with me? I go, no. I have no desire to jump. But she convinced me. And I rented out the whole plane and brought a bunch of Next Level by Association members, including my daughter who wanted to go. So we jumped. Well, this girl, Cindy, who I became very good friends with, we dated, amazing woman, became an inner circle member, literally paid her own way through everything, all of my programs. Really an amazing woman, accomplished executive in the healthcare industry. She says, I said, hey, we're going to go skydiving next week. She goes, okay. And I'm like, wow, there's no resistance. I mean, she was adamant, no way. So a couple of days later, I go, skydiving next week. She goes, all right. I'm like, huh. A couple of days later, skydiving next week. Yeah, okay. Day of, skydiving today. Yep, all right. Get in the car, drive down to the airport, putting our little jumpsuits on, signing the waiver. She's like, all right. I go, we're going to jump out of that plane. She goes, all right. I'm like, wow, there is no resistance. Something changed. So we get in the plane. She's crying when we're in the plane. She's scared to death. Crying. And we jump out. I jump out. My daughter jumps out. I jump out. And then Cindy jumps out. We get to the bottom and Cindy's just crying. And I go, okay, man, I gotta know. I mean, what changed so that you were okay with jumping out of an airplane? She goes, well, I kept telling myself when you would say, we're going to jump out of an airplane next week. Okay, I've still got a week to change my mind. And I said, yeah, but you came and got on the plane. She goes, I still said, I can still ride the plane back down. And I said, okay, but then what made you jump? Ken, you and I love this. I said, then what made you jump? She's standing there and she jumps. I said, what made you jump? She says, Bob, I wanted to know so bad what was on the other side of that fear that I became willing to jump.
Dude, I just got chills again. Like
I do too. Every time I tell that story.
You told me that, man. I got chills. Like that is insane, man. Wow.
Yeah, and I mean she's accomplished so much. I mean, she's an executive in the healthcare industry. She's crushing it in life, crushing it in business. Just an amazing woman, and one of my dearest friends. I absolutely love her.
Wow, that is unreal. And so it literally is. That's what life is about, man. It's about confronting those fears.
Amen.
God, how many people have gone to their grave over the existence of the human race just being paralyzed their entire life by fear and calling that a life.
Right.
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't live like that, man. I
can't.
And
you know, when you think about fear, people always say, I said, you know, what stops you from doing the things you want to do? Fear. I said, okay, so you want to know how to combat fear? And they always go, yeah. And I go, greater sense of urgency. I said, watch this. You are scared to death to do something, but all of a sudden, if your child's life was on the line, if you didn't do it, would you do it? Yeah. So what happened to fear? And here's the next level pillar. Fear and procrastination will always take a back seat to a greater sense of urgency. Fear and procrastination will always take a back seat to a greater sense of urgency. So all you have to do to get leverage over fear is to figure out what the greater sense of urgency would be.
Wow. That is awesome.
And I mean, there's people right now, Ken, that you and I know that are sitting here thinking, you know, I'd really like to go to that dinner, but you know, I don't know. It's a couple of weeks away. I don't know what I'm going to feel like on the 27th. I might be tired. It's at nighttime.
Yeah.
What if I get there and I don't like it? What if I get there and the food's not good? What if I get there and I don't like the guest of honor? I don't like Bob. They all love Ken because they already know you. So, but what if? Look, here's the bottom line. Fear and procrastination will always take a backseat to a greater sense of urgency. Here's the urgency. There's only 20 spots. That's it.
No, there's 18.
There's 18. Yeah, So there's 18 spots, and here's the kicker on that. There's 18 spots at $100. Look, I'm not going to make anything on this. Ken's not making anything. Ken's doing all the inviting, but we're creating an opportunity for people to gather, to connect in a meaningful way. Look, I'm gonna spend probably about 30 minutes talking to the group about how to connect with people properly and how to develop relationship currency with the people in that room as well as every other room. This is going to change your life, not for that night, but going forward. And so every event you ever go to after this night will be different because you will have learned some tools that will actually help you develop a better relationship. So bottom line is, what have you got to lose? $100 and an evening.
Well, and
What have you got to gain? A lifetime.
look, you know, people don't, I gotta tell a story, and because I want people to understand what I know to be a fact. Long time ago, when I started my business, I mean, a long time ago, when did I incorporate it had to been, it was before I formed the LLC. So it was probably 15 years ago, or more. This friend of mine, one of the most spiritual people that I know, he says, he calls me one day, how's it going? How's business? And I said, it's horrible. It sucks. Like, I can't get clients. I'm broke. I can't buy groceries. I can't afford to pay attention right now. It's terrible. And he says, hey, meet me tomorrow. I want to take you to the men's Ohio State basketball game with me. And I said, dude, I don't even have enough gas money to get to where you want to meet. And he says, I'll give you a couple bucks for gas. Just meet me there. Okay. I hate basketball. I love playing basketball, but I hate to watch. I would rather watch paint dry, quite frankly. And so I meet this guy, and and he's a good friend of mine. We go down. He's got a box seat, and we're sitting there, and he knows everybody, the ushers. He's asking the usher, "How's your wife, Mabel?" And all the, like, it was crazy. Everybody knew him. He knew everybody. And I'm like sitting there kind of ignoring everything going on because he's talking to everybody, and I'm watching the cheerleaders, I think. I don't know why. But so I'm sitting there, and he taps me on the shoulder, and I look over, and he's holding a piece of paper out to me, and I grab it, and I look at it, and it's a check made out to me for $5,000. And I said, wow, what's this for? He goes, you're gonna be my retirement. I'm gonna purchase my retirement from you. You're gonna do some work for me. I'm just paying you in advance for it. And I said, wow, for what? And he goes, look, I have an electric bill for my factory that's $7,000, and I have a trucking, because he owned a big company, shipped products everywhere, for $9,000, and I can't pay either one of them. I only have $6,000 in the account. I said, and you're trying to give me $5,000? Are you out of your mind? I said, right. No, I can't take this. And he said, you have to take it. And I said, I can't do it. And he goes, you have to. I'm not taking it back. You have to. Wow. You don't understand. If you don't take it, I'll never be able to pay those bills. And I said, what in the heck? Where did you learn math, dude? Like, this is not working out. Like, that's a riot. Minus this and that. No, it doesn't work. And he said, look, you got to understand something. Giving and receiving is the same thing. It's the same thing. And I want you to design a business card for me, and I want that quote on my business card. See, wow. He goes, I'm giving you almost all of the money that I have, so the universe sees that I'm willing to part with everything I have, and it will respond and give me everything I need. I'm getting chills telling this story.
Yeah, no doubt. I did too.
And dude, this guy, like, I'm like, okay. And then he handed me a 20. He goes, here, since you need gas to get home. So, you know, like, that's one of the things, like, I have literally designed my entire life around
It's powerful.
giving and helping other people, and I truly believe that that's why people like Bob Donnell are in my life. And I truly believe that that's why you felt so comfortable not just referring me to Mark Victor Hansen, but like sending a group text message so I have his cell phone number too. I'm like, holy crap. And all of the other people that you've introduced me to, and it's like, dude, I'm not begging anybody. If you don't get to this dinner, then and you even had a slight thought, man, I really should get there and meet Bob, see what this is about. If you don't do it, man, I feel sorry for you. Because you're gonna miss out on one unbelievable. It'll be nice. So anyway,
we'll have a great time.
Yeah, I don't know why I felt compelled to share that story, but
that's a great story.
It's one of the most.
I think one of the things that Next Level by Association is about the story of the people that are in there and about the guest of honor. And I think that was a perfect example of how people influence our lives. With the little things that we don't even realize that at the time how big it's going to change our lives. And it might just be a simple word. It might be a $5,000 check, but it might be a simple, somebody coming by and saying, you know what, why did you do that? And you giving an explanation, and they going, man, that changed my life. That's going to help me in the future. Yeah. So, man, I love the fact that you're sharing those stories. Those are powerful.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what that's why my show exists. I want people to share their stories. It's powerful, man.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Get to Columbus. If you're in Columbus, get to this dinner. Go to the link. I shared it. I'll share it again. Let me see if I can share this again. Yep. There it is. Excuse me. Get to this dinner. I just pinned the comment on my personal page. I'm gonna share it again here to all the other pages. Get to this dinner. Meet me. Meet Bob. And meet. I don't know who the guest of honor is. Bob and I have thrown around a couple of ideas, and trust me, if one of a couple of the ideas comes through, and it will, you won't want to miss this.
Right.
You will not want to miss this. So, Bob, dude, I appreciate you, man.
Likewise, brother. Appreciate you very much.
Thank you to everybody. A lot of people shared this out, so thank you for that. And get to this dinner, you guys. Like, Bob, is there anything else you want to add?
I think that the quality, Tony Robbins talks about a lot of things about the quality of questions. One of the pillars that I teach is the quality of your connection with anyone, including yourself, is going to be determined by the quality of questions you ask. And so, that night I'm going to share some ideas on how you can ask an even better question than you're already asking, that will help you really connect with people. And there's going to be people in that room. I always say this every month. I say, there are people in the room that will change your life forever, but it's not up to them to find you. It's up to you to find them. And so wherever you're at today, when I go to Starbucks and when I go into anywhere, I just look at it, man, there are people here that can change my life forever. But it's not up to them to walk up to me and go, hey, Bob, or hey, who are you and what do you do? I've got to be the one that's willing to reach out and extend that olive branch. And, playing life that way has certainly served me very, very well.
I'd say it has. Like, I don't know anybody with who's the, there was somebody else that you said the real life Jerry Maguire.
Yeah. Lee Steinberg, amazing guy.
And
amazing guy. He's a friend, and I go to his birthday party every year for the last several years. I go to a Super Bowl party. I'm invited to a Super Bowl party. You'll love this. He holds a Super Bowl party in the city of the Super Bowl every year for the last, I want to say 30 years, something like that.
Wow.
So every year he holds a Super Bowl party in the city of the Super Bowl. And I've been on that invite list for the last, 7 years or so, and very blessed. He's been a guest of honor at Next Level by Association, comes in, shares his complete story.
Jeez.
So cool, his story. He was Jerry Maguire, they basically followed Lee Steinberg to see what a sports agent does, and for that movie. So he was a consultant in that movie. Really, really powerful, great, great guy.
Wow.
And yeah, I mean, some of these people, I go back through the list. I mean, guys, I know maybe I talk about it kind of like nonchalantly.
You do.
I go back through my list sometimes, and I go, was he was really there? He Lee, we tried to get him for. I would literally text him, go, "Hey Lee, how about this month?" And he'd be like, "Oh, I'm not going to be in town on the third Thursday."
Wow.
How about this? And that was the thing, is because I could only do things on the third Thursday. It really had to fit. That's why I created the virtual platform where I could bring somebody on every week, and so they didn't have to be in Orange County. But Lee and I went back and forth probably 3 years, maybe more. And one day he says, "I'm in town." I said, "Let's do it this month." He goes, "Okay, when is it?" I said, "This week." He goes, "That's like 2 days from now." I said, "Yeah." He goes, "All right, let's do that. Let's make it happen." And a friend of mine, one of our great guests of honor that everyone loves, is Glenn Morshower. He played Aaron Pierce on the show 24. He played Black Hawk Down, Air Force One, Moneyball with Brad Pitt, Transformers, X-Men. 40 years working actor, not wannabe, working. Amazing guy.
What's his name?
Glenn Morshower. Look him up. You'll recognize him from a million shows.
Okay.
The West Wing, all kinds of shows. So Glenn is a very, very dear friend of mine, probably one of my best friends. Comes to Next Level by Association as a guest of honor. Comes whenever he's in town. Loves to come and just be a part of and have dinner. I'll tell you a great story. So Glenn, I hear Lee Steinberg talk about 2 years before he's coming that he's really a big fan of 24. And I'm like, I can make that happen. I can make this introduction happen. So, but it never worked. It never worked. And so one day, there he is, Glenn, my brother. Man, I'll get him on here. You'll love Glenn.
Oh, really? You can get him on my show?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'll say that because here's the rule that Glenn and I have. We have a rule, and this is a hard and fast rule with us. I ask him, "Hey, Glenn, can you?" And the answer is yes. We might have to figure out the logistics, but the answer is yes.
Wow.
The same thing with me. "Bob, can you?" Yes. Now, he might say on a date that I'm booked, we'll figure out, we'll change the date, we'll change the time, whatever. But we've done that for each other countless times. And he is one of those that I consider, he's one of those that I call a gap filler. Wow. I consider myself a gap filler. I help people fill in the gaps between where they are and where they want to be. And Glenn is one of those. So Glenn, I'm like, man, he didn't really know who Lee Steinberg was. He kind of knew, but he didn't know. And so Lee's like, "Okay, we're coming and having dinner." So we're having dinner. Glenn calls me from the airport in Burbank. Says, "Hey, brother, when's that dinner?" I go, "It's tonight." He goes, "Oh man, I just landed in Burbank from Dallas. I won't be able to make it tonight, but I wish I could."
Yeah.
Like, okay. So I don't tell Lee anything, right? About an hour later, Glenn texts me and says, "So where is that dinner?" I said, "Where are you?" He goes, "I'm on my way to dinner with you, brother." I said,
"Wow,
it's here." He says, "Okay, cool." So he arrives and I see him walking through the door, and I'm talking to Lee Steinberg, and I said, "Hey, Lee, I want to introduce you to a very good friend of mine, Glenn Morshower from 24. And Lee and him just like, boom. I mean, they just like bonded, changed phone numbers, cell phone numbers, and they've been friends since then. I mean, it's just been really cool. It's things like that. I had one Next Level by Association where I have a guest of honor every month in Orange County. Guest of honor canceled about an hour before the dinner. He had to reschedule. And a lot of times when, you get big names or something, a lot of times they're not going to turn down a paying gig to come to dinner.
No, right,
right. So I had somebody turn down, have to change it at the last minute. And I'm like, wow, okay. And I've had to step in and be the guest of honor from time to time. But I'm like, I really don't like to do that.
Yeah.
But I get to the dinner and on my way to dinner, I get this call from Tommy Bailey, who I was telling you about, who wrote She's Out of My Life for Michael Jackson, co-produced We Are the World. Tommy says, "Hey, I happen to be in town. Is that dinner tonight?"
Wow.
I go, "It is." He goes, "Cool, I'm going to come by." You don't know Tommy, man. This guy is salt of the earth. I said, "Cool." So
Wow.
Glenn says, "Hey, Bob, I happen to be over in your neck of the woods, and I'm thinking I might come to that dinner tonight." I said, "Awesome, man. You guys are..." Neither one are the guest of honor. They're just coming to have dinner with us.
Wow.
The community loves them. So they get there, and they're like, "So who's the guest of honor tonight?" I go, "I don't
You
know.
are.
Our guest of honor had to bail at the last minute." Glenn and Tommy both looked at each other and went, "Well, I guess we're it, man. Let's go."
That's
And
awesome, man.
so we set 3 bar stools up in front of the room.
Wow.
And the 3 of us sat there and just had conversation. And at the end, we all stood together, held hands, and sang "We Are the World."
What? Dude, you just gave me chills again. Would you stop?
Man, I'm so
Dude,
blessed.
you're giving me chills every 10 minutes.
So blessed. So blessed. Yeah.
That is amazing, man.
Yeah. It's really cool.
That's unbelievable. Wow.
And again, I don't want to make it about the name of the person, but I would rather make it about the quality of the person.
Yeah.
Those people do that because that's just who they are. They don't do it because they're celebrities. They don't come to be the guest of honor. They come and just sit there with everyone else and have a great dinner and hang out with each other. And then, we don't have a guest of honor tonight. And they go, "Well, we can do that. We're done. We're in there."
You know, I don't think that a lot of people understand that when you get to typically you don't get to that level of influence, that level of connectivity without being a really, really, really good human being. Like you just don't, you know, and the old, I don't know who came up with the saying that rich people are evil or money is the love of money. And, you know,
right.
Like, dude, these people get to that level because of who they are in their hearts, because of the giving that they do, the just giving back to the, like you keep using the word community. We live in a global community and people don't, I mean, this separation and the all the crap going on in my office right here. You know, there's a lot of stuff that's gone on in this office over the last 30 years or more that, you know, anyway, I don't want to get into politics. This is a great group and time for people to start coming together and learning how to communicate more effectively. You look like you have to go. Is somebody there?
No, but somebody was supposed to have texted, and so I haven't checked. But
oh gosh,
I'm okay. I'm okay, man. I'm okay.
Okay. Well, listen, we've been on here for 48 minutes, so let's I know. So let's call it a wrap. Let's get to this dinner, y'all. Like, it's time. I pinned it on the comments on my personal Facebook page. I'm going to paste it one more time so every other page can see it. Go over, get registered. It's $100. You get to come and hang out with Bob Donnell. I'm going to be there as well. And we're going to have a guest of honor that we don't know who it is yet. Will not announce it. You'll find out when you get there. So it'll be a great evening.
Absolutely, man. Hey, well, I appreciate you, brother.
Hey, I appreciate you as well. More. I guarantee it. Way more. So thank you, bro. I appreciate you. I'm going to end it. Don't hang up on me yet. I'm going to end it. You guys have an awesome Saturday. Make the best of it. Go crush it today. And we will see you at the dinner. See you later. Thanks, Bob.
Absolutely.